Of course, and the next question is sent in by Navin Katel, and he's one of the viewers, and he wanted to ask you, like, considering everyone is fit, that is Van Dijk, and with Thiago's presence, how will this Liverpool team evolve?
With what was the Van Dijk part of the question?
Like, if Van Dijk is fit and Fabinho
Yeah.
doesn't have to fill in at the center half, how will this
Yeah.
Liverpool team evolve? Do we see out phasing out of the likes of James Milner, Gini Wijnaldum, and Henderson in the longer run, and more of like Thiago players, considering his arrival this summer?
Yeah, well, I think the one. I think one thing that struck me about losing Van Dijk is that the Merseyside derby. I absolutely loved the look of that midfield, and I thought that midfield was almost like a glimpse into the future. And hopefully, it still will be Liverpool's future. It just won't be the short-term future because Fabinho is going to be needed at centre back. But I loved that midfield of Fabinho sitting deep and Henderson and Thiago either side of him. And I think in terms of phasing players out, that's probably going to be one of Klopp's biggest challenges at Liverpool, because if you look at his managerial career, he's never really had to do that, because at Dortmund, he tended to have his best, most influential players, lured away by Bayern Munich, and he lost players, and so having built this incredible team that's won the Premier League and the Champions League, he's now, that I think that's really tough, especially when you're a manager who's as close to his players as Klopp is knowing that right time to phase people out. And of course, I think it goes without saying that James Milner, with his age, although he's an incredible athlete, his role will continue to reduce. Gini Wijnaldum, as things stand, Liverpool aren't expecting him to sign a new contract, so Liverpool, of course, have to be preparing now for the future without Wijnaldum from next season onwards. Personally, I still hope he has a change of heart and does sign another contract, but I haven't heard that that's the case up to this point. So yeah, and I think when Liverpool signed Thiago, speaking to people at the club and people involved in the deal, there was very much a feeling that Thiago would give Liverpool a new dimension. And unfortunately, because of COVID and the injury he picked up in the derby because of that horrible challenge from Richarlison, we haven't really seen it yet. But I just think so much of this Liverpool team's kind of attacking danger comes from wide areas with Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. And I think the feeling was that if you could improve one area, it was through the centre of midfield by having more of a creative edge. And there's no doubt that Thiago will give Liverpool that with how progressive his passing is. So yeah, I think, Thiago, of course, is going to be, massive going forward. And yeah, I think that's one thing that we'll see that changes. I think Liverpool will start hurting teams in different ways, probably. I think they'll become, when Thiago's playing every week, I think they'll be probably a bit more unpredictable to play against.